Today I'm speaking with Todd Cox, field sales engineer at Allied Machine and Engineering, about hole drilling tools that are designed for use in automotive applications. Thanks, Todd, for joining us today. To start off, can you please give us an overview of why hole-making technology is critically important in automotive manufacturing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. That's a good question. The hole-making technology in the automotive industry, if you want to remain on the spindle and an option for automotive engineers to even consider you as a supplier with the ever-changing market that is, hole-making technology and the ever-changing market in the automotive industry, if you're not constantly reinventing yourself and reinventing your technology or just upgrading your technology, whether it be through geometries or coatings, just different designs, you won't be a player when it comes to the choices by automotive suppliers when it comes to staying on the spindle. So, the technology changes that we see in the automotive industry, we have got to also be, as a supplier to that industry, we have to constantly be looking at new ways to lower cost per hole and increase productivity and constantly show the automotive market that we too are fluid in our processes and fluid in our technologies and fluid in the ever-changing dynamics of the automotive industry. And if you want to remain competitive and get opportunity to be on their spindle, your hole-making technology is very critical if you want to be a supplier to the automotive market.
And what are some of the differences that make separate modern cutting-edge hole-making technology for automotive applications from more traditional cutting tools? Why have these changes come about?
Today's hole-making technology in the automotive industry, in some cases, 2016 geometries and 2016 coatings are running on the old traditional production lines that may have been in the automotive production line for 20, 25 years. So we're constantly having to adapt to, product lines that maybe doesn't have today's, through coolant capabilities where you're able to get coolant to the tip of the tool to help evacuate the chip, keep the cutting edge, cool and make it last long. So, there's times that we're having to adapt right to old technology with today's technology, and that can be a challenge, but it's a challenge worth going after. And then, compared to some of the old traditional cutting tools, the coatings have come light years just in the last 5 years, light years ahead of where it was, even 10 years ago. Substrates of carbides and even some of the steels that we use to manufacture our bodies, manufacture, our inserts and geometries. Where I'm using the TA product line, having been with my company for a little over 31 years, it's not the TA of 1985. The geometries and the processes that we have come up with are superior to what it was 10, 15 years ago or even 2 years ago, where we're competing against some of the products that are out there with our competitors that are high penetration type products, and we're able to out-compete them, outperform them with TA product line that's been around since the 70s. So, we've taken traditional cutting tools from back in the 70s and 80s, and, we've applied today's coatings, substrates, and geometries where we were maybe running 15, 20 years ago. We're still on that spindle, and only we're keeping that spindle from the newer technologies that are out there with updates and constantly pushing the envelope of geometries and coatings, which allow us to last longer, run faster. So yeah, that's a real good question. When you start comparing the old traditional cutting tools to today's technology, right now we're a great mix of both of that tradition and new technologies and doing very well.
Finally, what are some of the latest innovations Allied has brought to the automotive market, and what benefits do they offer to manufacturers?
That's another great question. The latest innovations, I've kind of alluded to that question over the last couple questions, but I'd have to say our processes back at Allied, we've been challenged by the automotive industry to get better, and again taking 1970s inventions, which is the TA insert, and applying 2016 ideas, we've developed through processes and through coatings and through geometries. A spade drill, like I said earlier, it wasn't my spade drill from 1985. This is taking that old technology, mixing new technology, and we've got very, very competitive insert, not only in price, but also in performance, that we're able to go after some of the high penetration style products that are out there and compete very aggressively. So innovations, definitely our geometries and our coatings and our processes for the insert. And when it comes to the holder, we developed a holder that we call the Stealth Drill. And the Stealth Drill has adjustment capabilities so that we can dial the insert at the front end to a minimum amount of TIR. So that allows that insert to just get superior tool life, and it's running straight and true. And then we've added some carbide wear strips so that you can run the high penetration rates, high RPMs. And then we've put some coolant hole technology into these bodies that it actually, when you have a machine that runs at least 500 psi of coolant pressure, it will create a hydro bearing around the body, allowing that thing to, again, cut very true, very straight. And if you can accomplish that, the payoff is the tool life on the front in the insert. It'll wear evenly. Those are some of the innovations that we're working on and are already in place in various automotive production lines. So really geometry, coating, processes, and just innovations that we've put together, really because being challenged by the automotive industry in our holder bodies, so that we could take all of that hard work that we're putting into the insert, really gain all the benefits of that with superior designs in our holder bodies. So those are really some of the latest innovations, and we're constantly having to upgrade to look at all those current and how can we look out short term. What are we going to do to continue to challenge ourselves to always remain on that spindle and create as much of an unfair advantage as possible for ourselves to keep the competitor off the spindle. So that's probably about all I have on the innovations side of Allied Machine. I want to thank you for having me today, and I appreciate these were great questions, and I look forward to doing this again someday. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Todd, for speaking with us today about how Allied Machine's innovative hole-making technology meets the specific needs of the automotive industry in order to ensure efficiency, quality, and precision. For more information, please visit their website at www.alliedmachine.com.